Welcome back. The action continues here at the Women's Series live on PDC TV. We've just witnessed an excellent opener between Robin Byrne and the eventual winner, Natalie Gilbert, who will face the victor in this first round match. Steph Clarke against Zhao Qingxin. And with me all weekend, Johnny Bryant.
Yes, thank you very much, Chris. Interesting one here between the retail assistant from Shrewsbury and the student from Harbin in China.
Outside.
For Steph Clarke.
Oh no, sorry, yeah. Oh, it alternates, yeah.
Just forgot the order of going for the ball there.
Outside.
So now Steph Clarke will try and get inside that and does so. And we'll have the throw in this best of 7 contest.
Steph to throw first.
It can often prove to be the most important dart in the match. Wasn't so in the last one. Gilbert breaking in the last leg
45
to win the decider. One of a handful of first round results matches that have already finished. Other ones include victory for Eileen de Graaf against Felicia Blay, Fan and Sherrick's sister, losing out to the Dutch woman there. Donna Maria Rainsley, a 4-3 win against Sarah Jane Gowans. Jane Monaghan, excellent player, defeating Marlene Badger 4-1. No prizes for guessing what Marlene's nickname is. Julie Thompson, a 4-2 winner against Sandra Page.
30.
Rebecca Edwards whitewashed Fran Elwick. Vicky Prum, an excellent victory against Stephanie Fink-Reichs.
60.
Juliet Finley 4, Carla Boys 1, another result. And Sharon Stratsmapul from the Netherlands defeating Lynn Marsden 4-2. We will keep you across all the results as the day develops here.
28.
Slow start for both of these competitors in this best of 7 first rounder.
30.
Yeah, it gives me a chance to properly introduce you to the viewers, Johnny. You have done darts before, haven't you? It's not your first rodeo in this sport.
No, indeed not. Many
29.
moons ago, and many of the other sports I've commentated on, but this is one sport I do really particularly enjoy. Going out and doing BDO World Trophies and
41
and World Masters events out in Newry, Northern Ireland, to do a Northern Ireland Open for the BDO many moons ago, before going out to do a couple of Olympic Games and in other sports, and as well as the
100
other events I commentate on in the sporting world. But for drama and for excitement, there's nothing
60.
that beats, for me, a good game of artists.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And of course, you will have commentated on the likes of the great Trina Gulliver, plenty of the other players that are in this event. Gulliver actually is in that top half of the draw, which is very open. I wouldn't be surprised the way that
69.
Trina's started to re-find her form if she were to go on a good run today.
Yes, indeed.
41.
Seem to recall that World Trophy in Blackpool, and Lisa Ashton just losing out to Anastasia Dobronislova in front of a capacity crowd in the ballroom just underneath the Blackpool Tower.
26.
Lancashire did certainly turn up that night.
Yeah, the Lancashire Rose winning 3 of the first 4 events so far.
139.
Excellent visit there from Steph Clarke.
So Zhao 145. Try to set that up with the treble. Well, goes upstairs instead for the double top. Leave 85 now, so treble 15 here. Then went for the 19s. So Steph Clarke to take this first leg after 2 10s.
20.
For an early break. Imagine it will be the bullseye route. Leave 68, so she'll try now to end on the ball rather than start on it. 18. Oh, you can't do that. Miss a big number.
Cardinal sin indeed.
32.
So Clarke with 3 more darts here, double 10. Bit to the left, but going upstairs instead, but
game shot.
Regains their composure and takes the opening leg of this contest.
Yeah, we did see Steph Clarke at the first 4 women's series. Eventually got a handful of victories. Reached the last 16 in the 3rd event, losing out to Eileen de Graaf. No
34.
shame in that. Was also beaten by Lisa Ashton in the quarterfinals in the 2nd event.
45.
Just seems to be getting into the groove now. Clarke, Zhao, the student.
65.
It's a good recovery. The second dart left a lot to be desired. But this is better from Steph Clarke here, who's
100.
now getting into the groove and seems to be picking up the pace here in this tie as well.
Yeah, she's got a good rhythm.
22.
Seems a little bit more methodical, her opponent. And sometimes that can actually
81.
hinder rather than help, because it can just add to the tension. There's a lot of thinking time during a throw, and that is a very nervy dart. I guarantee you that first dart was
34.
meant to go towards a treble 20, not near the bullseye.
100.
And I think Clarke has now really found the groove now and has settled into this contest, the better of the two. Zhao seems a little bit nervous up there.
25.
And it's been evident with some of the loose darts that the 26-year-old student has been throwing.
70.
Well, during the first set of women's series events, spoke to some of the ladies, and actually some of them quite like to avoid being put on the streaming board. Certainly in the first round, it can just add to the anxiety a little bit.
140.
Maybe showing that she's overcome the nerves, or is it because Clarke's on a finish and she's relaxed a little? And the finish might go. Double 16.
73.
Steph Clarke, the more confident of the two, but now can Zhao try and install some pressure here. These seem better arrows from the
100.
Chinese competitor. Just installed a little bit of pressure on this double 16 for Steph Clarke, just inside. Ooh, maybe awkward, that maybe blocked off the bed, and
No
that is
score.
indeed the case. So the door slightly ajar here for Zhao Qingxin. 74 left, treble 14 would be the target now. Single 20 just to mop up to leave double top.
41.
Double 16. It's not a bad double to have missed a few times, because she shouldn't get in
Shot.
too much trouble, and she finds it in the end, and Clarke doubles her lead. It is only a 4th outing at the women's series for Zhao, and she hasn't managed to win a game yet, and it's already looking
85.
like this one is going to get away from it.
Needs to dig deep now in this 3rd leg, especially. She's also against the darts here as well.
40.
Just to add to the plot, of course, this weekend, Mikuru Suzuki, multiple world champion from Japan,
60.
is making her first appearance of the year. From our commentary position, can just see her in her first match against Barbara Hospodarska. And Mikuru missing the first 4 events, but we know how
70.
strong she is, and she's more than capable of making it to Blackpool, even by playing only 2/3 of the events,
60.
even 1/3 of the events, to be honest.
Indeed, we have talent in abundance here in Wigan over these next 2 days.
But it just does add a bit of jeopardy, doesn't it? All of those top players being put in the same half of the draw today. Ashton, Sherrick and Suzuki,
11.
a reminder, all in the bottom half. Suzuki and Ashton on the same board, could meet in the last 32.
60.
Well, it's been very pedestrian for Steph Clarke, because that's the pace that she only needs to go at so far, because as Zhao really hasn't installed much pressure on the Shrewsbury native.
Yeah, she'll win the match
81.
with visits of 60 at the moment. And the last 3 have been that, but she's got that in one dart this time.
100.
So Zhao, 299, needs something special here to get onto a finish, and it's not happening this morning for the Chinese
22.
competitor. 136 here for Steph Clarke, and really take her time on this one, just try and set this up.
60.
376, Zhao way back in 277.
Good cover.
77.
Not going to leave a finish. It's going to allow, similar to the last leg, Steph Clarke all the time in the world. This time it's tops.
56.
We'll be back for double 10. Zhao on 200. We'll need to find a treble here, and does so with the first dart. Another one of them would be lovely.
85.
85 leaves 115, but Clarke 2 10s now to take a 3-0 lead.
Well, she's edging closer. She's lucky she hasn't hit the double 15.
10.
But we might see here why going for double top and then double 10 and so on is more uncomfortable than leaving double 16 as she did in the previous leg, because it doesn't split down as nicely.
.70 scored there, so 45 remaining.
I'm not sure what she was doing, to be honest, because she had 95 left, which can be
75.
finished in 2 darts. Had she gone treble 19, double 19.
Maybe a miscount there for Zhao. Now inside the 5, single 1. Oh dear.
No score.
There we see that the trouble with not leaving even doubles. Big moment this, to halve the deficit. Double 16 the target.
8 score.
And after all the build-up, she fails to find it.
So Clarke back on this awkward double 5. And once again gone inside, so Zhao will be back on double 16 here. As you mentioned, Chris, to half this deficit in a leg that the Chinese competitor seemed out of.
Splits down, double 8. Double 4.
.24.
Both of these players can throw darts better than I can, Johnny, but I feel like telling her just to throw it and get rid of the thoughts, all the build-up. I just think it adds to the tension.
There's no doubt.
2 scored.
Steph Clarke enters the madhouse.
Right, just run up and chuck it straight in. Well, there you can see just thinking about it a lot before even throwing. And of
Game
course
shot.
It works a treat, so I'll shut up. See you later.
Well, Zhao has got herself back in this tie. 2-1 now with the darts. And on this occasion, Chris didn't even think about this and started throwing
60.
the darts straight at the board and comes up with an even 60. And you can see Steph Clarke here throwing these darts with a slight bit of
45.
annoyance.
Yeah.
After losing that particular third leg.
Well, players play differently, don't they? Different speeds, different throws, and one of the more difficult things is if you're a quick thrower, is to play against a slower thrower, because you're just having to spend an awful lot of time waiting.
60.
That just happens in this sport. It's happened to me when I played this game, and even worse when I played snooker against some friends who particularly take their time over shots, and I just want to get on with it. So it's the mind games
60.
that happens in any particular sport.
Yeah, we just want to get on with missing.
60.
But yeah, interestingly, Paul Nicholson, and I think that Bobby George has said this as well, actually, that one of the things to do in practice is not just to throw your darts and walk back to the hockey and throw straight away. It's actually to take that moment, because you need to try and
45.
replicate the match situation. Mentioned Mikuru Suzuki just a few moments ago. She's 2-0 up in that match against Czechia's Barbara Hospodářská. On the same board as Lisa Ashton, who's actually already won her opening match. 4-0. Lisa beat Tara Dima.
And whilst we were chatting away, Chris, about pace of play,
9 scores.
Zhao's had a decent leg until that particular visit. So Steph Clarke here with something to think about. And now he's got the drift into the 5s.
10 scores.
Yeah, and a bit of misfortune as well. One on the floor. The tungsten tide is turning.
$45.
Well, Zhao is, with a couple of decent visits in the opening 9 darts of this leg, has set up a platform here to try and break back
100
and go on level terms. 101 coming in for Steph Clarke, so Zhao 182. A treble visit would be what she's looking for, and once again there is that loose dart
40.
that's cost her on a number of occasions in this tie.
Can still be done now. And still.
81.
Yeah, Zhao, she doesn't have much of a follow-through, so if she releases a dart too early, it will fly high. And we saw that showcase when she missed the board entirely in that previous visit. Steph Clarke will be feeling a little bit better
41.
all of a sudden.
But Steph Clarke had trouble on double 10 in the previous leg, and that's now gone upstairs into 6s. So down to this awkward double 7 at 7 o'clock.
Scores.
Not this time.
101 becomes 81, and now can't be done. But again, Clarke has left herself an awkward double.
41.
So back to 7 o'clock on the board for double 7. Again, that may have blocked. Oh dear, this would be a William Tell shot. Oh, wonderful shot it is as well from Steph Clarke. Under pressure there, and takes a 2-leg lead, and now throwing for the tie.
I'm not sure either player was quite sure who was throwing first there.
60.
But a missed opportunity for Zhao, and it's looking like Clarke will now put her away in this match. Mentioned Trina Gulliver's upturning form of late.
24.
She's won her opening match 4-0 versus Sharon Godbeer, but she'll take on Jane Monahan in the second round. Now that will be a tough tie
60.
for Gulliver. Priscilla Steenbergen, who we saw at the Lakeside recently, she's beaten Lindsay Ashton, that's Lisa's daughter, 4-2. One of a couple of mother-daughter duos in action. Lorraine Winstanley,
60.
her daughter Josie Patterson, both playing today as well.
60.
So Steph Clarke with 3 visits of 60 apiece. And Zhao going to try and reduce the arrears here, but
26.
struggling with a couple of loose darts. As you mentioned, Chris, we've seen that as she releases this dart a little bit early, and hence the wayward line.
81.
And Clarke now into the 200s, 240. Zhao 151 behind. Needs a big visit here. Otherwise, the campaign in this particular tournament could be dwindling.
100.
Yeah, the good thing, of course, is that there's another tournament today. It'll be a long old wait for the players that lose in the first round, but time to
100.
regroup and practice.
So Steph Clarke, 6 darts from 140.
22.
We'll stay there. Come down for 19s now.
40.
Let's leave an even ton. Zhao back on 269.
Really should come down with this dart. Didn't. 99 would have left to finish, 100
41.
wouldn't. Not really thinking straight. Not throwing straight either.
2 darter tops for the tie. Back to double 10. Been a nemesis for Steph Clarke. Not this time.
And the match.
And has taken